Now, I follow Cartoon Network's official YouTube channel, and I noticed that they've been releasing a lot of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball clips, so I decided to check the show out myself. Before watching the television series, I decided to first watch the two theatrical release movies, and they were good. Well, I liked the first movie a lot better than the second one. However, little did I know that I was making a huge mistake. I kinda wish I hadn't seen those movies before I watched the animated series. I'll get to why later, but for now, I'm going to mention what I did like about the show. I should probably point out that I've only seen the first 8 episodes of the show, so my opinions may or may not hold up after watching more episodes. For starters, I like the relationship between Flint and Sam. They're both likable and pleasant to watch individually and together. They're not as charming as they were in the movies. Their chemistry is also not as good as in the movies, but I do buy and enjoy them as friends. I actually don't mind that much that they're not dating, because they work just as fine as friends. The art style is a different take for Cartoon Network. It's based on the one used on the end credit scenes for the movies. The animation itself is not stellar or amazing, but it is decent enough. I guess I'm just relieved to see an art style other than that default Adventure Time / regular show based Cartoon Network art style used in every show produced by Cartoon Network Studios. Speaking of default, the soundtrack is pretty generic for a cartoon show, though to be fair, the movies also had generic Hollywood animated movie soundtracks. However, in comparison, the movies had more unique scores during a few scenes. But despite having generic scores, they are decently composed and I wouldn't say they don't match the tone of the scenes. The voice acting ranges depending on the character. Some characters have decent voice actors who are capable of sounding like the characters from the original movies, like the two main ones, but some just don't work. Like the police character is not the same without the original voice actor. The humor is hit or miss. Unfortunately, more miss than hit. You know what, I'm running out of good things to say. Let's just address the bad aspects. And for me to do that, I have to bring up the two Cloudy with the Chance of Meatball movies, so if you haven't seen them, you may have to walk away. Now, from what I can tell, the show takes place before the first movie, which doesn't really make any sense. First of all, Flint and Sam didn't attend school together. Heck, they hadn't even met before the first movie. Okay, I get that the show wouldn't be the same if Sam wasn't around, but is that worth breaking continuity? Also, why is Sam more accepting of her nerdy side? Before the first movie, she used to oppress her passion for science. She even let go of her glasses, but now she wears them and has a ponytail hairstyle. Secondly, most of the characters lost their charm simply because of the development they lost. For example, what made Brent charming in the original movies was how he came from being Flint's bully to his friends. Now he's an obnoxious bully and has that spoiled celebrity attitude he let go of in the first movie. Flint's dad is also not as interesting. What made him great in the first movie was his conflict with Clint, and now since there's barely any conflict between him and Clint, he just comes off as a boring old class dad character. Now before you say this is supposed to be a reboot, let me just say, if they wanted to reboot this series, then why'd you gotta reference every single detail about the two movies? Oh, and especially during the opening sequence. I like the opening sequence, I kinda like the song, but they do reference those two movies a lot. Like, you can even see characters that weren't even introduced until the second movie. If they really wanted to fairly reboot this show, they could have just at least not grabbed so many elements from the two movies to the point where it's difficult to ignore them. And that really ruins my experience because some of the episodes have fairly acceptable premises, but I keep scratching my head trying to piece together the continuity of this series. This is why I said in the beginning of the video that I wish I hadn't seen the two movies, because I just keep thinking about how some of the elements don't add up. Oh, by the way, the name of this show is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and yet it has nothing to do with that. I mean, I'm not surprised given that it's a prequel, but that just gives me more reason to question the existence of the show. Why make this prequel if it doesn't even have the driving theme of the franchise, which was food? Also, even though the art style is different from your average Cartoon Network show, it does have the same wacky, over-the-top vibe that I've been seeing in recent Cartoon Network shows, which not only doesn't match the feel of the movies, but I'm also getting really sick of this vibe. I'm getting tired of Cartoon Network offering the same type of show over and over again. Now, to be completely fair, the original movie did have a wacky animation style, but at no point while I was watching the movie I suddenly had a Teen Titans Go vibe. In conclusion, I don't think this show is that bad, or at least not as bad as some people claim it is, but it's kind of mediocre and I wouldn't really recommend it. It's an invention of the week type of cartoon, which ironically doesn't feel that inventive, though I will say it's one of the better reboots airing on Cartoon Network. Not that there's much competition. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye for now.